Tony, wow, look, the week's not over yet. We've still got an afternoon session. Some pretty good memories of a week that didn't happen by magic.
Yeah, it went far better than I would ever have hoped. Obviously, it's a new thing we've done this year. And maybe next time we'll do a mixture of physical and virtual as well, you know.
From the organisers, the sponsors, your own digital Jersey team, they've all been pretty much heroic people this week as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, very proud of my team and the effort they've been putting in, not only this week, but obviously weeks and months beforehand. Really grateful to our sponsors for making this happen, and really grateful as ever to our speakers, both the on-island people who've been able to show off to the world what we've been doing here, and for the off-island guests who've been able to tell us about what they're doing, and hopefully they'll join the Jersey team going forward as well.
And Tony, hopefully some people we can celebrate with a nomination for an award, because the final session of the week, it's time to reveal the Jersey TechAwards.
Today marks the official launch of the 2020 Jersey TechAwards. We'll be holding the physical ceremony at the Radisson Blu on the 5th of February 2021. Last year we had 93 nominations, and this year we've got 13 categories for you to choose from. Let's take you through some of these now.
The categories for TechWeek are Digital Company of the Year, sponsored by Revoke. For companies that sell and or use technology extensively and effectively.
Technology Project of the Year, sponsored by Shaw. This is about the most impressive technology project. Small, medium and large projects may all be entered.
Best use of technology in finance, sponsored by Jersey Finance. For entrants who have used technology to significantly improve productivity and profitability.
Technology Student of the Year, Senior, sponsored by JT. The Senior Technology Student of the Year will be studying a technology subject, and anyone actively studying technology in any way is eligible to be nominated from Year 12 or above.
Technology Student of the Year, Junior category, sponsored by Vi. The Technology Student of the Year is a school pupil who shows exceptional aptitude, ability and interest in technology. This award is aimed at pupils up to and including Year 11.
Technology Teacher of the Year, sponsored by Kendrick Rose. This award will go to the person who has made the most significant contribution this year to technology teaching in Jersey. Anyone who teaches technology in some way is eligible for this award.
Creative Award of the Year, sponsored by RBSI, is for a company who has implemented an innovative use of technology to improve efficiencies to someone who has run an influential digital marketing campaign.
Digital Leader of the Year, sponsored by KPMG. This award is for the person who has shown the greatest, most effective leadership in a technological sense.
Security and Privacy Award, sponsored by IT Services, a new category for 2020. This award will go to an organisation that the judges consider most impressive in information security.
Digital Startup of the Year, sponsored by Infrasoft Tech. The Digital Startup of the Year will be a technology-oriented organisation that has existed for only a short time, but which, despite its relative youth, demonstrates success so far and promise for the future.
Best Use of Technology for Sustainability, sponsored by HSBC. This award is aimed at organisations that have used technology in a way that has made a significant, measurable, positive impact in a green sense.
Digital Growth Business of the Year. This award is for a technology-focused business that has grown significantly and quickly in 2020 and will convince the judges that it is destined to grow further.
Lockdown Technology Award. This award is aimed at any organisation that has used technology to address the specific impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the associated impacts, such as lockdown and the challenges associated with it.
Okay, let's hear from some previous winners.
The awards are about the digital industry coming together. I think a lot of people don't realise what the digital industry is. It's not just digital agencies or IT-specific companies. Digital touches pretty much every sector. As a busy agency with lots of clients and lots of projects, we're very good at moving on to the next project as soon as one's finished. So I think stopping to actually just go through the application process is a really good way of reflecting on the work that's been done and celebrating that again, to actually then go and win an award is just further recognition.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great evening, and it was great to catch up with old friends and meet other people in the industry as well.
Jersey has so much innovation in this sphere, and we need to really celebrate that. And to do that, people need to be brave, enter, and hope for the best.
Just excited to see a bit more diversity among the businesses that are entering the awards. And yeah, I think the future's pretty exciting for Jersey.
After being locked down for so much of 2020, it's great to be in the venue where we're going to be holding this year's Tech Awards. We've got 2 new awards this year, one for sustainable computing, so green computing and technology, the other one for lockdown technology, the use of tech during lockdown to make the most of what we can. We've also got some amazing new judges on the judging panel, so some new blood to bring more of an insight into the technology we're making and using in Jersey.
Let's hear from our dedicated Tech Award partners.
This is the 3rd year for the Tech Awards, and we've been the main sponsor for every year. For me, it's a real feeling of pride because the reason why Prosperity exists is for the tech industry, and we feel that we should give something back for the industry to really acknowledge, especially in this year where we've got COVID and everything else that's going on in the world. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, yet the tech industry has thrived.
We've supported the local awards for the last couple of years. It's really important to be able to support the community. Historically, the technology sector has been quite hidden. It doesn't really get an opportunity to showcase itself. So events like this really amplify new technologies. It gives a platform for startups to be able to bring their creativity to market.
We are the Chartered Institute for IT, which underpins pretty much every business that's out there. So it's an obvious synergy.
During Tech Week, we get to really show what is going on in this fantastic hub of an island, this digital hub.
There are tech centres in London, there are tech centres around the world. What we have to do is offer something different.
It allows industries to come together. That's cross-industry, so it's not just financial services or healthcare. It's actually, lots of different industries coming together in one event.
We're talking fintech, we're talking regtech, we're talking health tech. So there's a whole diverse spectrum of innovation that's happening in the island.
From having these awards, you get to see some of the things that are going on that you just didn't know about. People will then go, there's a lot happening over there in Jersey. Maybe I'll look there.
Beresford Street Kitchen is a social enterprise that provides training and employment for people with learning disabilities and autism. We were approached to ask to be the chosen charity for their Tech Awards, which was absolutely wonderful. To be able to reach out to a new audience and for them to have shown our short video and have our crew there really helps raise awareness, which is really, really important to us. And off the back of that, we now have people come here for teas, for coffees, and got in touch with me as a fundraising manager to see what else they could do with us and work with us. So it's really important to go to events like that and be partnered with something like Digital Jersey.
The Tech Awards sends a really strong message that digital is the place to be. Plus, it's a great feeling to win something, right? When you've done a really good job and to show the rest of the community that this is what we've built and this is what we've achieved with it.
It made our job recognized, and especially for the young generation, it's great to see that more kids, they now are looking forward to to enter this industry.
Now let's quickly recap the categories once more. Digital Company of the Year, Technology Project of the Year, Best Use of Technology in Finance, Technology Student of the Year, Junior and Senior, Technology Teacher of the Year, Digital Startup of the Year, Creative Award of the Year, Digital Leader of the Year, Security Privacy Award of the Year, Best Use of Technology for Sustainability, Digital Growth Business of the Year, Lockdown Technology Award.
Gary.
The Jersey Tech Awards are now live. I thought I'd start the afternoon session in the control room because the team here have been working so hard all week to link the world to the island as we bring Jersey Tech Week to a close this afternoon, and certainly doing it in style. The Tech Awards are live. Tony Moretta is here with me now. Tony, let's talk about these awards. It is the one, I think, really important chance in the year for everybody to stop, take stock of what they've achieved, take stock of what other people have achieved, and then grab a digital megaphone and shout about it.
No, it really is. I mean, I've started the 2 tech awards that we've had already by saying the same thing. So I'm going to say it again. It doesn't seem 5 minutes since people were saying, should we have a digital sector? How are we going to have a digital sector? And yet those awards, perhaps more than any other event in the year, show what we already have. And it's also a good illustration that digital is not just about technology companies developing things with technology, you know, doing amazing things with gadgets and things like that. It's also about the school kids doing projects at school, the teachers there. It's about the companies we know, you know, Ports of Jersey, Jersey Electricity, JT, doing things with technology, government doing things with technology. It goes right the way through society. So you're right, it is about people celebrating success. It gives people, you know, the teams here doing a great job, chance to celebrate, whether they've just been nominated or they've won. But it also enables us to shout out to people to say, look what we're doing in a 45 square mile island.
And this year, the extra overlay of data has been COVID-19. And so one of the 2 new categories this year is about lockdown, technology in lockdown, because this isn't some theoretical future exercise. This is about the digital industries helping people in a crisis.
It really is. And it's been great for me this year. Looking back at the time, it felt possibly a bit more painful when I had my 3 or 4 months comment to government. But technology was a really key part of Jersey's response. It was a key direct part of our testing and tracing. So people think of the swabbing and the testing and the people there at PPU did an amazing job, but technology played a great part. We had, you know, on Tuesday morning, we saw what the contact tracing team did. We stood up a brand new integrated public health record system for the contact tracing team, for the testing team. That was built locally in Jersey by a local company that was working with experts in the contact tracing team here. That's been used all the way through. We've had systems built by the government's modernisation and digital team. The group director of modernisation and digital spoke at a Microsoft conference recently about it. It's had coverage in the press about it as well, which enabled us to get data from passengers coming in. You've used it yourself, so have I. You show a QR code, you get a text message test result. It's been a really key part directly of how we've managed COVID, but also it's enabled virtually the whole of society to carry on as normal, whether that is people doing their jobs from home. You know, our finance industry hasn't really had to worry whether they can go home and carry on working remotely, but also our kids have been able to be educated at home as well. And we've all had our mental health helped by not worrying that Netflix has gone down or iPlayer or something like that. So, you know, when you think about technology, I think COVID, there aren't many silver linings of it, let's be honest. Yeah. I think one of the silver linings is it shows that we are already a very digital island, and that's enabled us to get through 2020 in a way that a lot of other countries haven't been lucky enough to do.
There's a word I've kept hearing this week, the word agile, and it sounds dead clever. It sounds dead techie. You have your own language, so it sounds like you're a bit smarter than you really are. What you actually mean is getting stuff done fast and pulling your finger out.
Yeah.
And I remember back to earlier this week with Chris and Alison talking about government and industry working together. The phone call came Wednesday afternoon. The conversation happened Wednesday night. The plans were in place by Friday, and then I think it was the following Thursday this thing was happening.
Yeah, and I saw that on my comment in government. I've heard other stories of it. It was a real Jersey PLC, Team Jersey, whatever you want to call it, approach. That one of the benefits Jersey has of the government having arm's length organisation, arm's length companies. It had resources from organisations like Ports to get the Nightingale up and running. It could call upon Digital Jersey as well as the digital health team to be able to do things like the app, which you talked about earlier on today. And so I think we've responded as a community, not just in health, not just in terms of volunteering and all of those things as well, but the digital sector, the government sector. I think we've had a bit of a glimpse this year that actually we're quite hard on ourselves. We can do things quickly if we set our minds on it. You know, when there's a bit of a burning platform, when it wakes us up a bit, when we have to do things, then we can do it. And one of the lessons I hope Jersey as an island, government, private sector, everyone in Jersey realizes, let's take that out of 2020 and say, maybe let's get addicted to it. Maybe let's think, let's keep doing this, because there's a certain thrill, there's a certain pride. I'm really proud of my new home, how we've reacted this year. Let's keep doing that.
Absolutely. I want to mention the other new category just briefly. This is about technology and sustainability, and for Jersey, I mean, for way beyond these shores, an issue of our time. But to see that reflected in the awards this year feels timely and important.
It really does. Sustainability, like a lot of things, can be seen as a bit of a buzzword. But when you drill down beneath it, you see there are some real opportunities for Jersey. We had that amazing digital twin demonstration this morning, you know, visualizing some of this stuff, acting upon it, coming up with a strategy around it is really important. And okay, we're a small island, we can't do everything, but actually we're on a green island as well as a digital island. We love our island, we love the marine environment, and I think technology can play a big part in how we understand the impact we're having on our environment and how we can understand the impact of initiatives and things we can do. And so I've certainly come out of sessions like this morning feeling quite inspired. And I'll be honest, I'm probably a lot more positive about what Jersey can do on the sustainability agenda with technology than maybe I was even a few weeks ago.
That's lovely to hear. The nominations are now open for the Jersey Tech Awards. You've got till at least the end of this year and into early 2021 to get those nominations in. So please do so. Tony, for now, thank you. There's one more aspect of our Jersey Tech Week that we need to really tie up all the loose ends, a nice bow on this Friday afternoon, on this parcel of joy that is our digital community. Last weekend, the Digital Design Challenge finalists presented to the judges. They promised at the end of this week we'd find out who the winners are. Well, Rory and Rachel from Digital Jersey will be here in just a moment to reveal the winners. But first, let's get a look back on what the Digital Design Challenge is all about.
We are so proud this year to have 21 entries to the Digital Design Challenge, absolute record breaker. Traditionally, we'd have 9 or 10 teams competing in a hackathon, some of which would make it through to the end, which is always a marathon. But this year, we've really scratched beneath the surface of Jersey, unearthed some incredible artistic and creative talent, and have 21 entries.
Digital is something that we support both from the local community as well as the skill set that we have got within KPMG. So we've got our digital team, and it's always at the heart of our operations to help build the digital skill set within the Channel Islands and within Jersey.
It's great to see a variety of digital content. Sometimes when we think of creatives, we just talk about digital media, we talk about photoshopping, we talk about those kind of things. But here we've got birdsong going on in the background, we've got music happening, we've got virtual reality. It's been such an eclectic view and such a disparate example of what technology can bring.
See you online tomorrow at 12:30. Everybody else, thank you for coming.
Hi there. This morning we heard about the digital twin and Ports of Jersey, about using data visualization to help us to spot trends and patterns. Here you can see we're starting to add our own data into Jersey's digital twin map. Here we're looking at car parking and traffic data, and we're going to be building more and more into that.
But now we'll have a look at some of the projects that you've been up to over the past couple of weeks as entrants to our Digital Design Challenge. We're very pleased to have had 21 entries, and our heartfelt thanks go to everyone who took the time and energy to enter our competition. We will now announce the winners.
And for the first category, visualizing data, the first prize goes to Birdsong. Well done. The second prize goes to Alien Gate.
And for our next category, sensing and responding to the world, we're very pleased to award first prize to Seascape and second prize to Augmented Reality Jersey. Well done.
And lastly, in the categories, we have digital and tech culture. The first prize going to CodeMap. The second prize going to Digital Retro.
We also had 2 special category prizes for entries that really stunned the judges and made us think harder about some questions in the tech world. The first one is for Generation Z, an award made to someone who was under 16 or to an educational project that will engage the younger people on the island. We're really pleased to say that Illuminate Jersey won our Generation Z prize. Well done, Illuminate.
And in the second special category, we had the best project featuring Jersey, and that prize goes to Project Destiny.
We also send a big thank you to our 4 amazing judges, Noel Mallett, Tom Dingle, Nicole Maltwood, and Arthur Major. Thank you for helping us decide. It was a tough job.
Absolutely superb, and I must say thank you to KPMG Channel Islands for supporting that. The enthusiasm from all the entrants, the difficulty of shortlisting, and then that awful task for the judges having to pick between them, because I felt they were all so worthy in very different ways. Congratulations to our finalists and all our winners in the Digital Design Challenge. I thought it was something really nicely different to do this year, and a lovely way to wrap up as we get to the end of Jersey Tech Week. Well, as you can see, Tony Moretta is still with me. Tony, a final few minutes here. I don't even know where to begin when I say let's reflect on the past week, because there has been so much. I actually can't wait to go onto the Digital Jersey YouTube channel and replay some of these sessions, partly because first time around, it was coming at me like a railroad train. Highlights for you. We started with fintech. We ended with smart islands. A lot of meat in between in this digital sandwich. What was your favourite morsel?
So you're right. It seems like a long time ago that the inimitable Dave Birch started out by wandering around, and he was quite excited. He's been speaking around the world for years and years and years. And he'd never done anything like this. He said it was like doing breakfast TV or something. I even said you could be the Frank Boff of fintech. But you're right. We got straight into it with fintech. That was a great day for me, because that not only showed the expertise we have here, but we had fintech titans like Dave. We had Nick Ogden, the founder of WorldPay, probably the most valuable fintech company ever, talking about his new business. We had people from Microsoft, we had the World Bank, from Singapore. And that was a really good demonstration of what we could do with this sort of hybrid format. And then the next day, we got straight into what we talked about earlier on about how Jersey used technology. That was really interesting. I've been particularly keen on those parts of the week that have given us some advice and food for thought. So I thought the speakers that we got talking about digital economy from McKinsey, principal economist from NatWest Group, my old boss Nancy from Carlsberg Group, there was some really good. I'm going to go back and watch that. Not the bits with me, obviously, but make some notes on some of the advice they gave Jersey. And then we had things like the digital twin this morning, which I think really shows what we can do, and we can see what good looks like around the world. There's nothing to stop Jersey doing any of those things we've seen in other places today. Only ourselves. We're the only people who can stop ourselves. We can be data driven. We can be evidence based. We've got probably the fastest internet speeds now in the whole world. What's stopping us from taking this advice from this week?
We talk the talk an awful lot. What I feel this week at various points, and I thought particularly with Joel this morning with some of his demonstrations and his visualizations, that for me was a real penny drop moment where we can also walk the walk. If we consider that this network of overlaid data, it already exists. We are already doing it, and we can just keep adding layer upon layer upon layer. And then whether it's the private sector or the public sector, and we know we're going to need economically to go into a period of infrastructure spending. Of course, the big ticket item is Jersey's new hospital, but actually to use this stuff and to visualize it, whether it's for politicians, for policymakers, but also for the general public to see the effects of individual decisions working in a micro way, just twiddling this dashboard to show, oh, you know what, if we put a bus there and if it's raining on a Tuesday and you've got out of bed the wrong side, this is what happens. That's very powerful.
Yeah, visualization is a really powerful tool. I actually went to an event last year, seems like longer ago, where we had the Chief Digital Officer of Glasgow City Council. And I said, how do you make sure evidence-based decisions are taken within local government, within your local politicians? And he said, actually, with the data we have, with the sensors, we produce dashboards to give people the evidence to make those decisions. And so that's something we can do here. We can get that data. And one of the things we don't talk about, we talk about physical connectivity. We talk about our amazing broadband. One of the things we don't talk about is that Jersey PLC approach. And it's a shame in some ways that the COVID has delayed this a bit, but about a year ago, we had a Smart Island roundtable. It's the first time Joel Mills got to speak to a group here. And we got into one room in the hub, before physical distancing, obviously. We got the chief execs of the utilities, the telcos, the property companies, local government. We had the chief execs at Helier there. We even had the police chief. We had government policy people like Steve Skelton, who spoke so eloquently this morning. Other places can't do that. And other places can't get that level of cooperation because, you know, actually these companies, they're not worried about giving information away to their competitors. They're still owned and controlled by government. That's a really key advantage because part of their mission is to do good for the wider society. You said the other day about Jersey Electricity, for example, trying to make sure people were more efficient. You don't get that very often. That's something we don't realise we have. We're quite hard on ourselves as an island. We've got some amazing advantages if we would just use them.
Well, let's use it. That is the rallying cry. I'm going to take that bit of video. That sounds very old school. That bit of data, and I will play that in all the right corners because at times there are just too many roadblocks. And I think we've shown this week there don't need to be roadblocks. Or if there are roadblocks, we can use the digital twin to work our way around the roadblocks. Right, let's talk about this event itself. I know you and the team had Plan A for Jersey Tech Week. And then something happened in the world that's been in the news a little bit this year that changed plans. Can I just say, and I might say this because I'm sitting here anyway, but I think you've ended up with a better event.
Yeah, I think you're right. I have to confess, I delayed that decision to going virtual as long as possible. Like a lot of us, I was sort of hoping that COVID might go away and we could get back to normal. And we've been very lucky in Jersey, but we haven't been able to get to the point where we could run it physically. But you're right. The team said to me, we can do something different. We don't want to, we said at the beginning, we don't want this to be just another webinar. And I was worried that it would look like just another way, but it hasn't. And that's been down to this hybrid format. We've got an amazing team around us. You've seen it already. Delta and Slingshot done an amazing job. And let's remember the events industry, particularly in Jersey, has been hit hard. Absolutely. You think in any normal day or week, there are events going on all around Jersey. All the hotels are full of these events. You've got these companies like Delta and Slingshot running these events for people. Now, we've shown a different way of doing things. And one thing I hope is that people can actually see what we're doing and think, why don't I do that to deal with my staff who are working remotely, my clients who are all around the world? You know, how can we do feel a bit of pressure sometimes, Digital Jersey, to do things differently and a new way of doing things. That can be quite hard sometimes. But yeah, I think this has worked. And we've already seen that we've been able to get speakers from around the world without having to persuade them to travel, you know, via London. Planes could take days, might be worried about fog or the wind at the airport, and their carbon footprint, which people are understandably increasingly worried about. Absolutely. Instead, we're saying, can you take an hour, you know, sitting in your bedroom or your home office and talk to Jersey? And what we found is huge enthusiasm. People think it's interesting. So I always used to say we want to move from people in Jersey coming to hear from people flying in from outside. We want people from around the world to fly in to hear what's going on here. And actually, you're right. We're doing it virtually. It's easier for us to do that. It's easier for us to show more people than ever around the world. And that lives on. It's on our YouTube channel, all of these sessions. And I want people, when they look at Jersey, when they do the research into Jersey, maybe they're thinking of moving here with the right talent and skills. They're thinking of moving their business here. If they look at something like Tech Week, they'll think, wow, I had no idea all of this stuff was going on in a 45 square mile and with 100,000 people.
Absolutely. Well said. Right. Final thought, Tony. I suspect you want to thank a variety of people and supporters who've made this happen. Final answer, make the most of it. It's all yours.
So I want to thank my team, obviously, otherwise Kelly, my head of marketing, will particularly kill me later on. My marketing team have done, Kelly and Harry have done an amazing job behind this and nagging us all and getting us into the right position and things like that. But it's been a whole team effort from people helping organize some of these sessions, work with speakers, work with the curators of these sessions as well. They've been running the physical stuff here. I've done an amazing job. I say this all the time, but I'm really proud of them. I've already said Slingshot and Delta and the people around us, they've done an amazing job with a new format to them as well as us. And I've got to end by thanking you, Gary. You've been a star this week. I joked about, the sort of our treasure here, but actually I can see that you've enjoyed it.
Yes.
I can see that it's made you think. And you've been able to hold it together through some of the technical issues. You've been able to, deal with lots of different speakers around the world and act as our host this week. So thank you from the whole team, and I'm sure from all the viewers watching as well.
Bless you. I was not expecting that. I'm very, very grateful. I will take that humbly and just say, I know I've said it probably 1,000 times this week. I keep saying fascinating about everything. Everything really is fascinating. It has been mind expanding. It has been food for the brain as well as the soul. And I hope 2020 has fired up Jersey and way beyond these shores. Everybody tuning in now and catch up in the future to show what is possible with some will, with some spirit, with some ingenuity and creativity, and with a lot of collaboration as well. Plus that word we heard earlier in the week, bravery, because we all need a bit of that in these times. To you, thank you so much. It has been an absolute treat from me, from Tony, and from the whole team. And I really do mean the whole team from Jersey Tech Week. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.